tell us a little bit about your band, and we'll start with the history of the name. How did you guys get together with that name?
Well, the history of the band, me and Scrub is our drummist, we had a band called Shark Club about 2 or 3 years ago, which kind of plummeted. We did one gig and that was it.
It drowned.
Drowned deeply. And we decided we still wanted to do music together, so we enlisted Sarah and Neil, and Spiral Room, the name, came after a long list of many names.
It's tricky, it's tricky picking a band name, and I guess sometimes it just comes to you, and then other times you get inspired by something, and now after spending a lot of time trying to make something come to us, and we're talking about plants and all this kind of mumbo jumbo, we were looking through some pictures that we took when we were doing some recording up at the Co-op in Lancaster, and we noticed in the back of the room that the lads were down recording, and there was a spiral door.
Right.
And from that really came the Spiral Room.
So
we were nearly called the Spiral Door.
What is your sound and how would you describe that?
We'll speak to the song
very
later.
very 60s-ish, kind of guitar based, a little bit of California, a little bit of R.E.M, Birds,
Yeah.
and a lot of kind of new wavy feel to it as well.
That's your era, that's what you've grown up with.
Oh yes.
Those are your influences.
Well, some of us are younger than
Yes.
others, aren't we? I like the Spice Girls.
Yeah. So is there a bit of that in there as well? You can throw that in.
Girl power.
Most of the chorus is just Spice Girl rip-offs.
I think my brother describes it as kind of quite sunshiny, you know, like Tony said, the Californian sound, kind of a nice feel good, sunshiny vibe to it.
So it's all very poppy, it's very light and breezy, quite airy. So obviously in terms of writing, is the process you all go through together?
No, I'm the writer.
So it's a solitary process?
At the moment, yeah.
It generally ends up being, I've thought of this song in my van. And that's pretty much how most of the songs happen.
Yeah, it's as I say, some of them are. I work with a 12 tracks, 16 track studio, and a lot of them just come from ideas on guitar.
Then we tend to get together and have a bit of a jam session and things.
Yeah, work out the form.
It's just never ending though, are they? I've got another song.
Yeah,
we put them on like a SoundCloud page and go, well, that's all right, that's good.
Sad to see stormy clouds, memories laugh.
So what are the experiences in how they're playing live in terms of audience reception? How are they reacting to you out there?
Good.
Yeah, we played recently at a beer festival in Preston, which is quite renowned. They have some absolutely fantastic bands on there, and people.
Nice beer as well.
Nice beer as well. It's a beer festival, but we were really made up when we were put on the slot for that venue, and it was for me, I think. Because it was, I'm in another band as well, and it was a real different feel doing original stuff too, and getting the feedback from songs that we play, but they have a familiar sound to them. So you could see people, even as we were playing them, first listen for the crowd, you could see them getting into them and mouthing the choruses and things so very early on, which was amazing. It, obviously it's the good songwriting of Mr. Conway, but I think
past lyric sheets out.
Past lyric sheets, yeah. Was it one of those balls behind us bouncing?
the next stage? What's coming next for you now?
We've been discussing it recently. I mean, we've got some more recording to do. Two songs that we want to record: Sweet Summer Rain and Winter Song. We want to release them in some format.
Possibly vinyl. Maybe.
Possibly vinyl, yeah.
Going
Cassette.
old school. Yeah, it's cassette.
I could
Our
do
Walkman's
cassette.
out.
But that's the next thing.
And start gigging them, basically. Like I said, we were made up with the response that we had. So, like I mentioned, the rate that Tony's sort of churning them out at the moment, it's almost like every gig we do, we can throw new songs in there as well, which is really exciting.
So with your, if I put it this way, your experience within the music business
Age.
after all this time, yeah,
Put it like it is.
Preston is, yeah, I wouldn't don't bother with all of that niceties. But the fact that you've been doing this for quite some time, you're not going through that fine-tuning process now with your music. You know what's right and what works.
Yeah.
I think we made a conscious decision that we were going to pick gigs that we really wanted to play, the quality gigs rather than just, we're playing every weekend, and the beer festival that we talked about, it's highlighted for having decent bands on, and that's why we're privileged to be there. Yeah, so, we're cautiously looking at our next move and where we can pick off decent gigs, and we're getting some good feedback at the moment. So.
And just like the old cliche of the struggling musicians, obviously there's always the day job, the normal everyday that you have to do to maintain that. And like you talked about, some other bands, there's a lot of pressure and trying to get together just to rehearse, just to get that music together. What is it that drives you and that really inspires you and gets you motivated?
I think as you get older, it does get tougher because, we've got children, we've got careers and marriages and stuff. And, I've been playing since I was a teenager, and it's the first thing I wanted to do was be in a band. Now it's different. Being in a band is it's like a hobby. It's something you do when you're downtime. Don't mean to say we're not any less driven or focused, but other things are more important.
I think also you do your homework a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we arrive at rehearsal and we know the tune.
We're polished.
And
We're
that's
polished,
that
yeah.
fact.
Do you see yourselves changing a great deal in future? Do you see where yourselves in another 12 months' time? Envision any more change in terms of your style, what you want to put out there?
The style-wise, it comes. The demos I do, it comes very easy because I've got a. I like the sound of the guitar.
Right.
So we don't have a definite style as such.
Right.
But it's all got that kind of clean, nice guitar sound where it's.
Well, I think though, Tony, it's like less is more.
Yeah.
So we're using that philosophy and trying to pare things back a bit, not overproduce stuff. And that's nice. It sounds fresher for us, cleaner, using a bit of that space, ambience between the instruments. So that's the sort of the way forward I think we're going.
So ultimately, like you say, you guys are just a band out there who's enjoying themselves, having a lot of fun on stage, and people come along, and that really spreads through to the audiences as well. So where would you find your live next, say in the next couple of months or so?
Well, we've just had a website polished and a little bit of VT done. My brother's a documentary maker, Kieran Hansen, so he's done some video for us. Absolutely fantastic. And we're going to be putting our gigs and everything on there. So the spiralroom.co.uk is the place to find us. We're on Facebook as well and Twitter. So yeah, we're all over social media, and we've got a lovely website. So please check in with that and find out where we are next.